Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're thrilled to have you here. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of cybersecurity to uncover a sneaky tactic hackers use: ARP spoofing. It's a method that can compromise your network security. But first, let's get our basics right. Imagine you want to send a letter to your friend. You know their name and address, but there's more to it. You know their name and address, but the postman needs their postal code to deliver it accurately. Without the postal code, the letter might get lost or delayed. In the digital world, your computer's IP address is like your home address. It's how devices find each other on a network. But to send data packets quickly and efficiently, your computer also needs a MAC address, a unique hardware identifier for your network card. This ensures the data reaches the correct device. Think of it like a postal code for your computer. Just as a postal code helps the postman, a MAC address helps your data find its way. Now, ARP, or Address Resolution Protocol, acts like a directory that connects IP addresses to MAC addresses. It's an essential part of network communication. When your computer wants to communicate with another device, it asks ARP, "Hey, who has this IP address? Tell me their MAC address." This query ensures the data is sent to the right place. This process happens behind the scenes every time you're online. It's seamless and automatic, making our digital interactions smooth. It's a fundamental part of how networks function. Without ARP, our devices wouldn't be able to communicate effectively, leading to chaos in data transmission. Let's say you want to send a message to your friend, Bob, on your network. You know Bob's IP address, but your computer needs his MAC address to deliver the message directly. Your computer sends out an ARP request saying, "Hey network, who has this IP address? Bob's IP. Tell me their MAC address." This request is like shouting in a room full of people. Bob's computer hears the request and responds with, "That's me. Here's my MAC address." Now, your computer knows exactly where to send the message. ARP is like a quick phone call to find out the right address before sending your letter. It ensures your data reaches the correct destination. So far so good, right? But here's where things get tricky. Hackers can exploit the ARP process through a technique called ARP spoofing or ARP poisoning. Imagine someone in the room starts shouting the wrong MAC address for Bob. This is essentially what happens in ARP spoofing. A hacker on the network sends out fake ARP responses, linking their own MAC address to someone else's IP address. Now, your computer has incorrect information in its ARP cache, its temporary memory for MAC addresses. It's like writing down the wrong postal code. Your letter won't reach the intended recipient. Let's say a hacker wants to intercept your communication with your bank's website. This is a common scenario where sensitive information is exchanged, making it a prime target for cybercriminals. They'll launch an ARP spoofing attack by sending out fake ARP replies to your computer and the bank's server. These fake replies trick both your computer and the bank's server into thinking the hacker's machine is a trusted device. To your computer, the hacker says, "Hey, the bank's IP address now has my MAC address." This means your computer will send all its data meant for the bank to the hacker instead. To the bank's server, they say, "Hey, your computer's IP address now has my MAC address." This tricks the bank into sending its responses to the hacker's machine. Confused yet? It's like the hacker is playing both sides, intercepting and relaying messages between you and the bank without you even knowing. This is known as a man-in-the-middle attack, where the hacker secretly alters the communication. Your computer, tricked by the fake ARP replies, sends data to the hacker's machine instead of the bank's server. The hacker then forwards the data to the bank, making the communication appear normal. The hacker can now see everything: your login credentials, credit card details, the works. They can use this information for identity theft, financial fraud, or even sell it on the dark web. Section 5. Behind the scenes. A step-by-step breakdown. In this section, we will delve into the intricate process of ARP spoofing, a common technique used by hackers to intercept network traffic. Let's break down the ARP spoofing process step by step. First, we have the initial reconnaissance phase. During this phase, the hacker starts by sniffing or listening to network traffic to identify their target, which is your computer, and the intended victim, like the bank's server. This is a crucial step as it sets the stage for the attack. The hacker starts by sniffing or listening to network traffic to identify their target, which is your computer, and the intended victim, like the bank's server. Next is the packet crafting phase. In this phase, the hacker crafts fake ARP packets. The hacker crafts fake ARP packets. These packets are designed to deceive the network devices. One packet says, "Bank's IP, this is my MAC address," and the other says, "Your computer's IP, this is my MAC address." Then we have the flooding phase. In this phase, the hacker floods the network with these fake ARP packets. The hacker floods the network with these fake ARP packets. This overwhelming amount of false information causes confusion in the network. Your computer and the bank's server, believing this false information, update their ARP caches. Finally, there's the interception phase. In this final phase, the hacker is now positioned between you and the bank, able to intercept, read, modify, and even block your communication entirely. The hacker is now positioned between you and the bank, able to intercept, read, modify, and even block your communication entirely. This man-in-the-middle position gives the hacker unprecedented access to your sensitive data. This is how ARP spoofing enables a man-in-the-middle attack, giving hackers unauthorized access to your sensitive data. Understanding this process is crucial for implementing effective cybersecurity measures to protect your network. Section 6. The real threat: consequences of ARP spoofing. ARP spoofing isn't just a technical trick. It can have serious consequences. First, there's hackers can steal sensitive information like login credentials, financial data, and personal information. Next, we have they can take over your online sessions, making transactions on your behalf or accessing your accounts. Then there's hackers can alter the data you send and receive, leading to misinformation or financial losses. And finally, they can block your access to websites or online services, causing disruption and frustration. The potential damage from ARP spoofing is significant, making it a serious security concern for individuals and organizations alike. Section 7. Case-in-point real-world examples of ARP spoofing. ARP spoofing is not just a theoretical threat, it's a real problem. Here are a couple of examples. In 2017, security researchers discovered a variant of the switcher malware that used ARP spoofing to hijack internet traffic on public Wi-Fi networks. It redirected users to malicious websites that stole login credentials and financial information. In 2018, attackers used ARP spoofing to target ATMs in Europe. They tricked the ATMs into thinking their malicious computer was the bank's server, allowing them to withdraw large sums of money. These are just a few examples of how cybercriminals have exploited ARP spoofing for malicious purposes. Section 8. Staying safe. Effective prevention measures. So how do you protect yourself from this sneaky attack? Fortunately, there are several ways to mitigate the risks. Use strong passwords and two-factor authentication. This adds an extra layer of security even if a hacker intercepts your login credentials. Be cautious on public Wi-Fi. Avoid accessing sensitive information like bank accounts on unsecured public networks. Use VPNs. A virtual private network encrypts your internet traffic, making it much harder for hackers to intercept and read your data. Network security tools. Employ intrusion detection systems, or IDS, and firewalls that can detect and block ARP spoofing attempts. By taking these precautions, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to ARP spoofing attacks. Section 9. Vigilance is key. Importance of understanding ARP spoofing. In today's digital landscape, cybersecurity awareness is paramount. While the technical details might seem complex, Understanding the basics of ARP spoofing and its potential consequences is crucial. By being aware of this threat, you can take proactive steps to protect your privacy and security. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to staying safe online. Share this information with your friends, family, and colleagues. The more people understand the risks, the better equipped we are as a community to combat cybercrime. Section 10 Conclusion. Wrapping up the discussion. That's it for today's video, guys. We've covered a lot of ground, from the basics of ARP to the intricacies of ARP spoofing and its prevention. Remember, ARP spoofing is a serious threat, but by understanding how it works and taking appropriate precautions, you can significantly reduce your risk. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and I'll catch you in the next one.